If you have no interest in retiring, if you plan to retire sometime in the future, or if you're concerned of falling into a black hole or becoming irrelevant after you leave your full-time position, this program is for you. If you are generally searching for a new sense of meaning, if you're asking yourself, who am I when I'm no longer doing what I'm currently doing, then this 7 Principles for Living a Life of Significance is for you because it helps you become prepared to make a successful transition into the next stage of your life and create a new sense of identity outside of your current role. The program provides you with peace of mind now and for the future, since it's designed for people aged 50 plus who are searching for answers and want a clear direction for their lives. We are the first generation in the history of mankind to have been given the gift of longevity. Most of us baby boomers will live 10, 20, or 30 years longer than our parents. We are still active and are not interested in going out to pasture to rest away. The program makes you aware of a new road that has recently been built for this new stage of life. It's a road of significance, and I invite you to travel down this road with me. The road leads to a land that is filled with new meaning and sense of personal importance and self-esteem for a whole new stage of life called the Platinum Years, which surpasses the golden years of a parent's generation. The Platinum Years is a time of life to actualize your true potential. It is a time to break out of a cocoon, be free as a butterfly, to fly as high as you can, go where you've always wanted, be the person you have always knew that you could be. The 7 Principles for Living a Life of Significance program is designed to help you successfully answer important current stage of life questions, such as, where will I find new meaning after I'm no longer working full-time? Will I be bored and depressed? How will I feel about myself in the next stage of my life? Will I feel irrelevant? And how will I know what I really want to do? The 7 principles that are presented in the program apply a practical step-by-step approach which will change your life like no self-help program could ever do, since its focus is on significance, which provides a whole new sense of self-importance, enhanced sense of self-esteem and value. The holistic and substantive perspective that the 7 principles create expands your awareness to a higher and deeper level than it has ever been before. Bottom line, the program works. I have used it to transform my life and the lives of other people that I have professionally worked with over the years. If they work for me, they can also work for you. The 7 principles are based on the latest scientific information, which provides you with a step-by-step methodology to successfully transition into the next stage of your life and for living a life of significance. They help you think differently about yourself and your new future and apply an integrated head and heart approach by having you use your intellect to discover who you really are after you have left your full-time position. The principles also incorporate the 4 stages of the creative process, which helps you create a new you for your new stage of life. In this Q&A session, I will answer 3 how questions. The first is, how can the program help you? The 7 Principles for Living a Life of Significance program is not solely focused in on traditional retirement, since it's also an age-appropriate personal development program. The online program helps you find answers you've been searching for, establishes a new sense of identity for your next stage of your life, become the person that you have known that you could be, and avoid looking back at the next stage of your life as being misspent. You might have tried self-help approaches in the past, and if you're like me, they did not lead to my making permanent life changes. The program applies the 7 new approaches that help you experience personal transformation. They are a behavioral approach, an evolutionary approach, a cosmological approach, a reverse engineering approach, a self-actualization approach, transformational approach, and a AAA approach. William Bridges wrote in his classic book, Transitions, that transition is not a nice way to say change. It's the inner process through which people come to terms with change. This is why your sense of self-importance and self-esteem are key for your making a successful transition and for living a life of significance. Personal transition is a movement from an old state or condition to a new one, which requires the ending of the old. This is why you need to become personally prepared for this major life transition. Between the ending of the old and the beginning of the new, there is an unknown area that is called by the workers in this field as the neutral zone, the wilderness, the transition zone, and what I prefer to call it the transformational zone, since it's a time of personal questioning and disorientation. A successful transition requires successful passage through this in-between time. And a successful passage requires a reframing of who you are and what is important to you at this stage of your life. The program fills in the void of leaving with a new paradigm which is based on balance. One key lesson that I learned in traveling down the road of inner discovery is that taking a holistic approach is key to moving from a life of success to living a life of significance. In the weekly online sessions, you will learn how to apply the 7 principles that help you become intellectually prepared by its helping you changing the way that you think about yourself in the future. Psychologically prepared to transition to life of significance by having you effectively deal with your behaviors and unconscious issues and motivations. Emotionally ready by addressing your feelings and fears, and spiritually prepared by developing a new identity and discovering where you'll derive new meaning in the next chapter of your life. All these aspects are integrated and influence each other, which is why the program addresses each one. A separate and complementary program, 7 Steps for Purposeful Living, helps you become structurally prepared for living the next stage of your life by helping you know what you really want to do, your lifestyle choices, and all aspects of your life. The 7 principles for living a life of significance shows you how to effectively deal with the head issues that are involved in making the successful transition, personal transformation, and for creating a new life of significance. This is important since you're going into a different world once you have left your full-time position or as you age, which is why you need to think differently in order for you to be intellectually prepared to make satisfying and meaningful choices in the next stage of your life. The wisdom traditions from around the world and throughout the centuries all share this fact that how we think creates our reality. For example, in the Bible states, whatever man thinketh, so is he. The Buddha in the Dhammapada, we are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make our world. In the Indian Bhagavad Gita, man is made by his belief. As he believes, so is he. And Marcus Aurelius, the emperor philosopher of Rome, your life is what your thoughts make it. And also Shakespeare, there's nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so. In each weekly module, you will learn 7 unsuccessful and successful ways to approach thinking about yourself and your future. The successful approaches are a factual approach, a reciprocal approach, a substantive approach, a continuum approach, an operational approach, a portfolio approach, and a process approach. In the program, you will learn a new logic system that broadens the concept of who you think you are, helps you go deeper, which helps you create a new sense of identity for the next stage of your life, and to transform your life through the power of balance. Also, in each weekly module, you will learn how to become psychologically prepared to make a successful transition and for living a life of significance. The program is designed to expand the way you think about yourself in the future, actualize your personal potential to be the person that you always knew that you could be, develop a new sense of self-worth and self-importance, and live a life of significance by connecting and living a meaningful next chapter of your life. The messages of this transformational program are those of hope, freedom, and new beginnings. It presents a new source of inner power and insights that allow you to break free from the 7 psychological A's that I have found in my years of working with baby boomers that hold them back from living dynamic new chapters of their lives. Analogy of the 7 A's are baby boomers who have brought new sailboats, which are fully stocked for their new journey. They have untied the lines in front of their boats and have the throttle down, but they're not going anywhere. The reason why is that they are not aware that the lines that are holding their boats to the dock are still attached. The stern lines represent the 7 A's that cause baby boomers to fall into an abyss after leaving, to apply an absolute way of thinking, which is a thought process for living a life of happiness, to use the AAA standards of perfectionism to the transformational and transition processes, to have a low assessments of themselves, to experience aversion, which consists of unconscious fears about themselves and what the future will bring, to have attachments of the past which are no longer age appropriate and prohibits them from being a new person for the new stages of their lives, and to be ashamed of experiences from the past. The program also provides a framework for you to become psychologically prepared, which will help you develop a new level of confidence in the ability to be a new person, to move beyond old limiting assumptions about yourself, and to regain both your emotional and psychological center of balance. The 7 principles also helps you become emotionally prepared for your making a successful transition into the next stage of your life and for living a life of significance. By its helping you change the way you look at the world, refocusing your time and energy on the 20% of what is important and avoid the 80% of what is not important. Develop a new lease on life by loving yourself and to stop the mental chatter of insignificance. The 7 principle program then helps you become spiritually prepared so you can make a successful transition and for living a life of significance. The benefits of becoming spiritually prepared is that it enables you to realize your innate significance, helps you become aware how blessed you are, helps you fulfill your life's plan, adds a higher dimension to your spirituality, opens up the opportunity for you to experience meaningful coincidence in your daily life, and to use the change process as a growth process. The second how question is, how credible is this program? The credibility of the program is based on my 30-year personal journey of inner discovery. I will share 2 personal stories to prove this point. The first story was when I was in Stuttgart, which at that time was West Germany, to pick up a salesman's dream car, a Mercedes-Benz, since it was a time before the Lexuses or Infinities. The night before my wife, daughter, and I were to pick up the car at the Mercedes plant, I was woken by a clear message that sat me straight up in the middle of the night. The clear message was to use my skills that I had used for material success and apply them inwardly. The next morning, I told my wife and daughter what I had experienced. I could have just let the experience pass, but it was too deep for me to ignore. So for the next 30 years, I refocused my time and energy from living a life focused on success to discovering what it meant to live a life of significance. The second personal story was my wife, who at 34 died of breast cancer, which had metastasized to the liver. This meant that I had to leave the national company that I had started in order to take care of our 2-year-old son, since her parents lived in Chatham, New Jersey, and my parents were in Florida. Since I was going to be my son's sole caregiver, which meant that I had no spouse to counterbalance my personal issues, I vowed that I would change my life so I would not pass on the negativity that I was conditioned into as a child onto my son. During the weekly modules, I will share with you what I had learned, what works and what did not work during my inner journey of discovering who I am and what a life of significance is all about. The program shows you how to avoid the depression that is often experienced after leaving a full-time position. Whatever your age is, add 30 years, since that will be approximately how long it would take you to learn the lessons and insights that I will share with you in the 7 Principles for Living a Life of Significance program. For example, if your current age is 50, you'll be 80. 55, 85. If your current age is 60, age 90. 65, you'll be 95. Granted, it might take you a shorter period of time to travel on your inner journey of discovery. The credibility of the 7 Principles for Living a Life of Significance program is also based on 3 years of research at Harvard Graduate School. The program is also based on decades of experience in my working with baby boomers to help them become emotionally, intellectually, psychologically ready to transition into the next stage of their life. I will also use an article entitled How to Protect Yourself Against Bad Self-Help, which dealt with the dangers at work within the U.S.'s $12 billion self-help industry, and how to spot the warning signs that was in a July issue of Scientific American, as a reference to the credibility of the 7 Principles for Living a Life of Significance program. The July Scientific American article, When Does Self-Help Actually Help?, states that good programs have independent data showing their effectiveness, not just antidotes, and they are generally adapted from techniques known to work in more conventional therapy administered by professionals. You have the confidence in knowing that the contents of this program is so effective that it has been approved for continuous education credits by the following professional organizations: licensed clinical social workers, licensed social workers, mental health counselors, substance abuse advisors, pastoral counselors, Massachusetts Nurses Association, marriage and family therapists, and the Massachusetts Department of Education. The 7 Principles for Living a Life of Significance program is also based on the work and experience of an international educational institute, which I am the founder and CEO of, which was established to help baby boomers create new lives they can't wait to live. The third question is, how is this program delivered? As When Does Self-Help Actually Help? Article in Scientific American states, what are the critical elements of good self-help programs? First, overcoming depression, anxiety, addictions, or other disorders typically requires learning and new coping skills over many months or years, not in a matter of days or weeks. This is why successful forms of self-help prepare one for a long period of self-improvement. Intense one-time experiences typically do not provide the ongoing support needed for lasting change. This is why the Significance Program is an 8-week modular program, which is flexible and convenient, since it puts you in control of your progress according to your schedule and personal preferences. You can access and watch the instructional presentation links when you have time during the week, much as you would watch a DVD. It's engrossing since you are working on your own life, and it provides you with conflict-free advice since it's independent of financial retirement planning. The program applies a highly effective 4-step proven process by its having you watch background information, learn the 7 principles and their step-by-step application, read session guidebooks, and complete exercises. The program provides you with the time to think about the material, feel the emotions, apply the power of creating new reinforcing neural pathways in your brain, and have the opportunity to share realizations with others and receive valuable feedback if you so choose. Another way the online program is highly effective is by its integrating assessment, conceptual, and operational learning. It also follows a coaching style of teaching, which has been proven effective over centuries, which states, tell me I forget, show me I remember, Involve me, I understand. The following is what a person who I never knew wrote after experiencing the 8-session program. I have been participating in Jack's program of the 7 Principles of Living a Life of Significance, and I couldn't be more pleased. Jack's years of experience in this field are evident, as he helps raise your understanding of the mind-soul connection. His insights and knowledge of the holistic human condition are the most impressive I've ever experienced in my years of attempting to find true personal growth. His program and thoughtful words speak in depth and precision as they gently guide you towards your goals, raising your self-awareness to new heights along the way. He offers a systematic methodology which astounds with one aha moment after another. You think the program was developed specifically for you. Ultimately, the gift is a key to open the door and bravely step through to the other side and begin the next exciting chapter of your life. I asked a person who went through the program what he would say to people who were considering participating in the 7 Principles for Living a Life of Significance program. This was his response. Are you ready to apply a state-of-the-art approach that until now has been available through specialized private coaching? Imagine the empowerment, the inner peace, and deep satisfaction of experiencing your own internal transformation, self-healing, personal growth, deeper meaning, and wholeness in your life. This program will take you to places where you never dreamed possible. Let your future be your best years. I believe in the effectiveness of this program so much because of my experiencing how these principles changed my life and have seen how it changed the lives of other people that I have worked with over the years, that I feel confident offering you a money-back commitment. If the truth of this program does not resonate with you, your money will be promptly refunded. If you decide to take the 7 Principles for Living a Life of Significance program, you have nothing to lose and a new life to gain. I will end this Q&A session with a different type of question. Are you willing to become prepared to travel down the road that leads to a bright future? If your answer is yes, then you want to take the 7 Principles for Living a Life of Significance online program, which you can access at the self-directed button on the Platinum Years website. I look forward to sharing with you in the instructional presentations over the following weeks. Thank you, and I hope that you experience how innate significant you really are.